am qualified. I've got the skills that you need. I add value to the table. I put in the work. I bring the results. I deserve to be compensated. I deserve all the good things. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am Uzinhle Mzileni, your host and friend in all things growth and personal development. And to everyone who's returning, thank you so much for coming back. So namhlanje guys, I wanted us to talk about all things careers and especially being able to negotiate as a way to get ahead in your career. So I was actually reflecting on my career journey and the growth that has taken place over the years. And I was saying, but I consider myself very lucky because when I initially embarked on this journey, I had very little information about pharmacy. I initially wanted to be a medical doctor, and if I wasn't going to be a medical doctor, then I definitely knew but I wanted to be within the health sciences sector. So I applied for medicine. And then because we had to have a second option, I looked through the other career options that I had, and there was e-pharmacy. I didn't know much about it, but the only thing I knew was that, okay, I've seen e-pharmacist within a retail space, and I knew about e-pharmacists were those people that actually give you your medication and tell you how to take it, and that was about it. That's the only thing I knew about it. So I put that as my second option, and unfortunately I was not accepted, and so I had to go for pharmacy because I had to go to school the following year. I had no option of taking a gap year and whatnot. So I took pharmacy, and that is how my career journey began in pharmacy. And fast forward close to 10 years later, I am very much happy. But I usually say, but hey Sana, it's quite a risky journey because imagine taking up a career that you have very little information on, and what if it had not yielded the results it yielded. So I count myself lucky and blessed, and I thank God that fortunately for me it was not a bad choice at the end of the day. And I wouldn't like to see any of our younger sisters and brothers, as well as anyone that is thinking of taking up a new career, to follow the same path. It is very important to make sure you research on the career that you are about to choose. Make sure you understand very well what people in those jobs do exactly. Find out if it resonates with who you are and what you like. Find out about the salary scales there. Shadow people that actually do the jobs that you would like to do in future. Very important, guys, that part of knowing very well how much people get paid and if you can actually live off that salary. Because imagine if I had taken up a career where the jobs do not pay well, you are finding it hard to live, and the economy is what it is. So those are things that we need to consider when we are choosing careers. So when I was done with school, I started my first few years, plus minus 6 years, in hospital settings, and basically I was dispensing. And that is exactly what I had known pharmacists to do. But I realized that I really do not enjoy this dispensing thing. Now imagine if that was the only thing that pharmacists had to do. So that would mean that I would now be spending the rest of my career life doing something that I really do not enjoy, or I would find myself in a space where I would now have to change my career because I don't like what I'm doing. And when I looked around in the settings where I was specifically based, I realized that there is not much growth that could come out of it for me. That is when I knew that I had to leave. Every day I had to drag myself to work. I became bored, and that was a sign for me that this was the time for you to leave. And I'm really not gonna lie, because what a journey it has been. But like I said, I thank God that I'm finally here and everything is working out well. So that was a call for me to now invest in my career growth and see other options I've had. And your son, now I needed to take salary cuts. I needed to leave permanent jobs for contracts, because the contracts were giving better opportunities for growth. They were giving better pay scales. And I remember this one time I was offered a job within a sector that I have been dying to get into, a sector that I have been praying to get into. And when I applied and got an opportunity to go into the interview, I was like, thank you, Lord. This is the moment I have been waiting for in my career. And I went through the interview, passed the interview. Now the problem came. Your offer came. I was looking at this offer and I was like, Sana, this is far from what I had hoped for. And I don't really see how I can live comfortably. But now, because this was a job within this sector that I really wanted to get into, I did not think about negotiating. I was in a space where I was like, okay, this is God giving me this opportunity, so I do not have time to actually reject this offer. And the only thing I was thinking about, and I was getting into it and actually getting the experience that I wanted. I got into it and built my experience, and I liked what I was doing. But then now the problem was that I was not making enough money. I was not living, and I've had to do other jobs on the side to actually patch and make it till the end of the month. But while doing that, I was doing the work that I needed to do in my job. The business was actually doing the money that it needed to do. I was putting in my energy. So that is a very unfair situation one would find themselves in. But also at the same time, I can never say that I did not get the growth that I needed to get from that, right? So it was a win-win situation, but that is only something that you can do for a certain period. And after some time, when you have at least gotten the experience that you need, you then need to tap out of that, and then you need to prioritize other things as well, because at the end of the day, you are a person, you have a family, you have yourself, and you have to leave. There are bills to be taken care of. So it got to a point where I then needed to leave the job and then look for other opportunities for growth, but that were now paying. And this is when I actually realized that it is very important to negotiate as a person. Because imagine, what's unfair about businesses or companies is that you will find that you take up this job, right? And then you are not happy with the salary that you are given. You don't bother to negotiate because you are very desperate to get into this space. You take up the job, you do the work, you are not happy with your salary. The next person that comes into that job gets a pay that is way more than what you got, because they were able to negotiate their way. So when I then applied for my new job and got a new offer, I was like, Sana, I am not making the same mistake again. Yes, the job is definitely what I'm looking for, but also I am also an asset. I bring skills to the table. I bring my qualifications to the table. So I will definitely be using that in order to get the offer that I want, or at least something that is very close to what I'm looking for. So to anyone that is looking at getting new jobs, please know exactly what you want and market yourself very well for the roles that are related to your skill. Do not be too desperate, because you can always get another offer that will give you exactly what you want, or at least be close to what you want. Do not take up offers that you are not comfortable with simply because you are desperate and want to see yourself in that job. Negotiate your way through, because you've got the skills, you've got the qualifications. Know your worth, Sana. Know the value that you bring to the table. State exactly what you want, but also be reasonable. Do your research. Find out what the company pay scales are. Factor in your cost of living, guys. Do not be afraid to do those, because this is a job that needs to feed you. You've got bills to pay. You need to live a comfortable life. You need to get up every day and be able to go to that job knowing very well that it rewards you for the work that you put in, and that is something that you definitely need to be compensated for. Also, while you are looking at ungazinxishi, be reasonable. It has to at least meet your minimum expectations. And also, in certain instances, it is important to factor in or consider your non-salary benefits, like your bonuses. Mhlambe you don't get really paid well, but there's bonuses that are guaranteed. You have to factor in those. Mhlambe you have flexible hours, which will actually allow you to be doing something else that will bring in money. Mhlambe you are given a vehicle to travel to and from work, or maybe you're working from home so you don't have to worry about fuel. So be fair and be reasonable, but also ungaziqhathi, guys. And during negotiation, always maintain a professional tone. And last but not least, don't forget to continuously work on improving yourself in the workplace, to make sure that you improve on your skills and qualifications so that you can stand out and that your next offer can be even better than your current offer. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next video.